Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Simulation Soccer League. We are in Division 2 tonight with Matchday number 9. And I would help if I would introduce myself a little bit. I am your one of your commentators today, Laser, and I'm joined today by...
So, hello everyone. I am very excited to be back after a bit of a break from my usual commentary gig. Unfortunately, I am a little sick today, but I can't be sick of the action that we've seen thus far in Division 2. It is a very exciting promotional race. 4 teams looking to set themselves at the front. Only 4 points separate first from fourth. So now would be a great opportunity to try and get one of these teams into a much more comfortable position with a win over one of their tougher opponents that they may face. Of course, I believe all of the top 4 are facing all of the bottom 4 for this one.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, and that will prove crucial in the promotion race. You do not want to drop points to your competitors at this stage.
Yeah. Yeah, dropping points against a competitor directly is one thing, more understandable, perhaps, depending on your definition. But if you drop it against somebody that's lower down in the table, it always stings just a little bit more.
Yeah, one could consider these must-win games. One could consider them trap games, however you want to call them. They will also be a very difficult fight to go through. And starting off here, we have Montreal United versus Adowa Accra Football Club.
Yeah, Montreal having made some very, I guess you would say, aggressive moves here recently to try and bolster their promotional chances, having acquired, I know it was Ricky Bobby, yeah, up there at the top, as we see a 4-3-3 from Montreal. They acquired somebody else from Hollywood. I don't recall who it is, as we see another Accra special. 514, I guess.
I don't even know where to start, I'll be honest.
Yeah, Accra seems to do very well at finding formations that utilize their players in a way that gives them the best chance to win. But that, so far, has not translated to game day as well as the African club would like.
Yeah, to recap, it was Montreal United trading away Ari Nagatoro and Jersey Moda for Ricky Bobby and Alfredo Podemesca, as well as a pick swap. Hollywood receives the first in season 11, while Montreal receives the second in season 10 as Taco Cat there with a drive that just came the top.
Yeah, very close there. Yeah, and that was Maradona going back to Division 1, which is another one of the stories for Hollywood and Tokyo, the 2 teams tied at the front for Division 1. But this is Division 2, and it is Rob Tucker who has scored while he's offside.
Yeah, I didn't even let him the opportunity, the chance to try and get that one after a yellow card was issued there to Minone. Tried to get one pretty much right off the indirect free kick there, but Tucker just wasn't able to time his run right.
Yeah. And I think looking at this formation, it is technically a 3-3-4.
I would go as far as to say that it's a bit of an offset 5-3-2 here as the Saran Saral. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Saran Sastral, yes, I think.
Okay, so I got it right the second time, yes. A new player that I haven't been able to see thus far in the action. And yeah, it's a bit of an offset 5-3-2 with Taco Cat playing a bit more of a... Well, both of them are playing with the wingers. He's Bobby a drive, and he puts one through. 1-0 Montreal, and that will be a huge goal for them. Actually, given that they are the ones that are favoured in this match, especially at home in Quebec. Just to finish before they offset 5-3-2, Taco Cat the one that is just playing a bit further back, more in a central midfield winger role as Bobby there beats Whittington to the ball and beats Saran Sastral to it.
Yeah, Saran Sastral just recently called up from their academy squad to tend the net for Accra. I'm not 100% sure if this is their first game. I believe it may be their third or fourth, but I have yet to commentate them playing in Division 2. So it's good to see them get started, although perhaps not in the way that they would like to.
No, indeed, it was a tough start, especially, given such a close proximity there. It is, I believe, their second game. Usually we've seen Luke Lavac in net, but
Yep.
He's not been performing up to scratch lately. One of only 5 keepers right now who's posting a rating under 7. And in fact, I believe it's one of the first ones that we've seen to come in as a replacement. Only 2 teams outside Division 2 have elected to use another keeper. In this case, we had AC Romana, who's Kazenga Miller, and Patrick Carrigan. Iraq has been replaced now, it seems, by Sadan Satswa.
Yes, indeed. Romana as well have only used Lua very sparingly so far this season. If memory serves.
Yeah, Carrigan has been the primary. Lua has only started in 3 games, in just the cups.
I think
Cross-check
that may
on that
be
one.
right. But in this match, we have not seen a whole lot of action other than that one goal. That's a goal for Berbatov. I need to, if I say things, they happen.
Well, no,
Oh,
they
he's
don't,
offside.
because Berbatov was caught offside. Here's
Ah,
another look at it. Just a little flick on there. And yeah, Berbatov
ooh.
was onside, it seemed initially, but Salic with that little tap on there just mistimed it for Berbatov. And another one that has been disallowed. That's 2 that Accra probably could have had and could not get.
Yeah, and against a keeper like Brian Duke with somebody like Ricky Bobby up there in the striker position, you can't. I mean, if you're getting in those positions, you have to be able to convert them. You'll get punished for it if you don't. With the attack and ferocity that Montreal's attack has.
Yeah, I have to agree. I would like to note, Low did start 1 cup game, but has also gotten 2 starts in league.
Okay. I couldn't remember exactly where they had gone.
Yeah, but I mean, Carrigan's been one on form, but we've got another thing to focus on here. It is worth noting, though, this would probably be like one of the tougher games to keep us here. Or that might be offside. Is Salic?
Yeah, he's offside.
But goal denied. Oh, goodness me. Another look at it. This one should be clear as day.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Little offside trap put on there.
A good strike.
Yeah, it was a great finish, but when you have it that uncontested, thanks to having a 5-yard advantage, kind of easy to put that one away.
Yeah. True that, and that brings us to the half. It is I think I would say it's surprisingly even for the involved teams, although I guess that's more of a credit to Accra finding a tactic that's working for them in this occasion.
Yeah, it seems like this offset 5-3-2 is doing them some good. They've been able to get some good attacks rolling off that right edge and been able to send guys forward. The problem is just none of them have really been able to convert. I mean, you had Tucker who was through and offside, Berbatov who was through and offside, and Selic who was through and offside. They could have been looking at 3-1, have they been able to time those runs ever so slightly better or some different passages of play, but nonetheless, hindsight is 2020, and right now, looking back at it, it does seem like those rude chances are what's costing Accra perhaps 3 points in this.
Yeah, there is always the second half to get things going the way they want them to, but we also have to be wary of the attacking trio of Bobby, Manone, and Utley Abaralonga.
Yeah, as we mentioned before, since Sadan Satsral did have that call-up recently, Ricky Bobby did have one player of the match in that game and scored 2 goals for Montreal. So he's been doing quite well for himself there, but he's been able to... he was on the foul for Earlier, did he not?
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry. Here's Dion. Oh, it's just over.
No, it's all right. No, I was just rambling to myself. Yeah, so he got his 3rd of his Division 2 campaign already. So already scoring more than some forwards have.
Yeah, I had a sound boost right at the time you were finishing your thought there. I couldn't quite figure out what you were saying. But yeah, that's 3 goals for Bobby in Division 2 already oh wow, that was very close himself. Was he offside again? No, okay.
I was just a goal kick.
I saw the flag up on the far side, couldn't tell which direction it was pointing at first.
Well, no, the offside signal is the same as the goal kick signal, so it's easy to get confused.
Yeah. But yeah, here's Manone. Manone to Bobby to casual, cross into Bobby. That was way high.
Yeah, just couldn't redirect that one that time. Couldn't get it downward. I mean, very difficult to do that, given Bobby's exceptional height, but on occasion just could not get that one to go through as Berbatov there might be able to produce something here if they can get flowing again on this right side.
Yeah, there's Dion for the Berbatov, and that's a penalty. And no card. Looks as though he has avoided the card. I'm a little bit surprised by that. And saved.
Oh, huge stop there. Brian Duke got right out to where that penalty was going. A big stop there, but still have the corner to defend.
And they will, at least originally.
Might be offside if Cat's back. Yep.
I was thinking the same thing. So often we see those corner takers come right back into the field of play and immediately are offside. And that is, we have seen a surprisingly large number of saved penalties in Division 2 this season. There's a good opportunity for Bobby blocked by Whittington. I think that's 5 or 6 penalties saved that we've seen.
Believe that would be the case, yeah. Only 1 of 6 converted.
Yeah.
First penalty taken there. The only one that has scored a penalty is all offsides. Leo Papadopoulos had one saved. Pascal Nivier had one saved. Casual has 2 saved. And there is one.
Here's Berbatov. Just over. That was a good opportunity, but nothing doing. Yeah, Anavier and Papadopoulos had their shots saved in the same match, in the same half, within, I think, 10 minutes of each other.
Goodness me.
And now Montreal's in the attack. They've got Peterson trying to drive into the box. Over to Manone, who falls over. That was... I didn't see anything there.
Yeah, I think Sadov Freddy just got pulled first there.
Yeah. Freddy heads the free back out. Casual looking for something, but there's a ton of Accra players in the box, and Cat hoofs it free. Tucker attempted a tackle, but that was nothing doing. Montreal. Oh, goodness. A double doink.
Yeah, Southside nearly put it back into their own net after it hit the post there.
Yeah, off the foot of Casual. It would have been a good shot had it gone in, but it did not, and Peterson has a high shot. Only 10 minutes or so for Accra to score and get a point. Santimage doesn't touch that. Got an opportunity there, I thought. 4-2 to the Bernia Calvator. Peterson, that's just outside.
Yeah, it's 2 tough chances for Tom Patterson. Both have missed thus far.
Now with only a few seconds left, this looks like it's going to be the match. Unless Accra meet... Oh, that's... Okay. Tucker into the box off of a missed header, and he calls it. The referee calls the match there, and it'll be a 1-0 victory for Montreal.
Wow, that seemed like a very early call there. You're right down in the area, and you just think to yourself, it might be worth trying to let this one play out, but no. It's seen enough of that point, and yeah, outstanding work there from Brian Duke, able to get an 8.4 match rating, player of the match for saving that penalty as well, kept Montreal in this match.
Absolutely. Match rating is, of course, inflated by the save penalty, but even regardless, Duke had a very good game, had some very good chances, and I think perhaps got a little bit lucky that those goals that were let in were offside, but also had a disadvantage by those offside calls. So,
yeah, I mean, you can't regard those offside goals as real opportunities that you can rate because, sure, you got beaten, but at the same time, the infraction that occurs beforehand kind of invalidates that whole thing.
yeah. Yeah, and looks as though he made 4 saves on the day. Both both, uh, sides having remarkably equal matches outside of that 1 goal for Ricky Bobby. Looked like about
And I
one
guess
point
that goes to
five
show
XG each.
what a guy in the front like Ricky Bobby can do for a squad.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have the quality up front, it stands to reason that everything else will follow, and that was the case here today. As we move on to match number 2, it'll be 3rd in the table, AS Paris taking on FC Kaapstad.
Yep, and while we're seeing that Kaapstad still have not really been able to find their feet, 2-1-5 thus far. One of 2 teams at that. Only 7 goals scored thus far this season, and at less than a goal a game, it's been no surprise that they've had their struggles of late. AS Paris, on the other hand, pretty much have one of the best offenses in the league. If they can score 2 here, they would take the team Golden Boot lead. And well, that's been pretty much off of the back of one Leonidas Papadopoulos, who has 9 goals thus far, and also 3 assists. I mean, that is just incredible work here. We see Kaapstad, the 4-2-3-1 being run here. Well, AS Paddy, you see them go with a bit of a 4-3-3 with those wingers, McAllister, Cortez, to support Papadopoulos.
Yes, indeed. And for Kaapstad, their main weapon has, for the majority of their time down in Division 2, been their goalkeeper, Dexter Hall, who has been instrumental in keeping Kaapstad in close games by making a lot of very good saves against very potent offenses. As we see Kaapstad attacking off the rip. Or not.
A little bit of counter-attack there from Paddy. Was trying to be mounted, but Cortez just couldn't find the final pass to perhaps get Papadopoulos any angle. One thing that I did find while looking through statistics here, perhaps worth noting, no Kaapstad player right now has scored 3 goals over their 8 games. Now, granted, you can kind of chalk that up to, just a general lack of scoring, but even then you usually have a strike man, but Kaapstad just do not seem to have one.
Yes, here's Papadopoulos with an opportunity, and Hall makes the save. Yeah, it's scoring has been an issue for Kaapstad this season, and I think it is partially because what quarter comes to nothing is because of the rookie status of their striker. Just hasn't had enough time to mature and develop into the player that Kaapstad wants him to be, and playing as a poacher means that he has pretty much no purpose but to score goals. So if he is unable to accomplish that, then essentially Kaapstad plays with man down.
Yeah, and like that will be something that they, I think, have struggled with. Of course, right now the league goal scorers are Ronaldo da Silva and Scott Muffin, who have 2 apiece by the looks of it.
Yeah, I believe Muffin is the central attacking mid. This was a cross for Papadopoulos, and it's over. And Da Silva is the right attacking mid. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that all checks out then.
Yeah, and Kaapstad they do a pretty good job at putting balls forward for Christus to run onto, but Christus just hasn't been able to outpace these central defenders or the wingbacks, whatever it may be, to get onto those balls and convert them.
Indeed, that's been a struggle as now Paddy looking to mount a counter.
Yeah, Jones into the box, play the 1-2 with Alistair, shoots from... That was an intelligent shot, I believe, trying to catch Hall off guard by taking opportunity of a little gap in the wall. But Hall was able to get his hands on it. In the ensuing corner. Doesn't come to anything originally, but they'll get another one off of the boot off of Spoon.
Yeah, Jay Brisky is looking dangerous here. He wants to find Papadopoulos in that box. Look from far side.
And nothing doing again, but Brisky puts in another cross. He overshot him this time. Papadopoulos crosses for Jones. Back to Cortez, and that was not a great pass.
Yeah, I felt like I was just pushed one too many times there, and I just wasn't able to really get anything flowing that time. As now I look to try and press on.
And Kaapstad trying to get something. Tato put a shot on target. Barfoot blocked it wide, and there'll be a corner. Can Kaapstad convert? No. Now Papadopoulos has an opportunity. Cortez timed it a little bit off. Plays a 1-2 back, gets to the line, puts it across, and that's put out for a throw by De Silva.
Yeah, it was just good defense there, I feel like, from Kaapstad in that little 2-on-2 situation. Usually we've been able to see them flow free there, but we're able to cover both of those options off well and made sure that someone stuck to Papadopoulos in case there was a through ball, and one that kind of cut off a pass and also was able to mark Cortez.
Yes, indeed. That was a very good chance for Kaapstad. They didn't come to anything thanks to the defense of Paris. Now Papadopoulos with a long cross for Alistair, and it's off of the post. Or crossbar, I suppose, but
Would work either way.
yeah. And this is a little surprising that Paris have not scored. To me, at least. There's a free ball to Jones. Jones is going to shoot. He's going to be wide. Paris was shut out in the most recent game against AC Romana, which is uncharacteristic of Paris to be shut out in general. They have yet to score here. I had thought that they would come out of the gate very aggressive, looking to establish their attack very early, and to a certain extent they have done that, but have not found any fruit from it. Now they have. That's a goal for Papadopoulos.
Well, you said before that you shouldn't really speak these things into existence, and there you just did.
Yep.
Talked about the shutout, first goal in at least 132 minutes. It's a great little through ball in here for Heather Bull. Just able to find Alistair, and it's a little tap on him. Surprised there that Papadopoulos is onside, but get another look at this one to see. Maybe looking Alistair, might be looking at Papadopoulos. Yep, someone on the far edge, and certainly did seem like there was a second chance that was missed there.
Yeah, that was. Unless that left defender that out of camera took Papadopoulos inside. But even then.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Tato was that far in field. It would surprise me, to be honest. Either way, Nathan probably had the best view of it. Perhaps just thought it was a deflection off, but still, that is interfering with play.
Yeah. And now Paris wanted something else, but it would be a corner off of Spoon as we draw very near to the halfway point. And Brisky's corner is headed over by Snooks, and that'll be the half. I think a fair score going into the half, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, Paris definitely have had the majority of the chances there, but I think we've seen something very interesting here looking at these stats. Kaapstad haven't been able to put in a single cross and also have a much lower volume of crosses being volleyed in there. That's how a lot of teams, I find, do try and get their goals through in the SSL, and it was technically off the back of one, but one did succeed, and so I do think that Kaapstad need to work on that in the second half. I'm sure that the manager will be giving them a good few words about making sure to find their options and trying them more often, but perhaps the direct play isn't quite working out for them as second half is underway. Kaapstad looking to come back in front of their home fans and get a little bit of an upset, perhaps shape for promotion places against Paris.
Yeah, and it's, I think Kaapstad's both of their shots so far have been on targets. They've been making the most of their opportunities, but as you said, they can't get any crosses in, and Krustis hasn't been able to get onto the through balls. Muffin isn't crashing the box, as I imagine he's in a support role there. So it's difficult for them to take advantage of any crosses, really. Here's Jones. He's going to go to the line, pass back to Cortez, and Cortez is going to... That's a great save by Hall.
Yeah, great work reaching out, was able to get the hands to it, stop the across the face opportunity.
And the corner headed out. Jones into Bull. Back to Nevermind.
Never heard of this Nevermind player. Do you have their bio here somewhere?
I do not. They spawned in the middle of the field. I think they may have rushed the field from the stands, gotten their timing mixed up. Thought the match was already over.
Yeah, hopefully they haven't been sent to Nirvana.
That would be unfortunate indeed.
But the Silver Nelly was able to interrupt that pass from Bartlett. They're playing risky here.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, oh, Cortez. I didn't think Cortez had a chance there. He proved me wrong, or excuse me, she proved me wrong very quickly.
Yeah, this is a wonderful little finish there after a bit of that risky play, as we mentioned. It was just Papadopoulos who ends up sending Cortez through for his 4th assist, and Cortez just able to find an angle enough, a bit of a Thierry Henry style, right foot to left corner, and nigh on unstoppable there for Dexter Hall. Pretty much at everything right there and narrowing the angle, but Cortez just played with trigonometry too well.
Yeah, and that would be given Kaapstad's, oh no. Hall with a mistake there, not being able to hold on to the ball, and it'll end up in another Paris goal. It'll be 3-0.
Yeah, this one just got loose in front here. It's Cortez this time on the inside ball. Hall tries to punch it away. Kamavinga, I think, was the one that ended up tapping it back right to Alistair, and when it comes off a defensive player like that, there's no need to worry about the offside. It's an easy tap-in goal there, and Abidal still actually get credited with an assist there, so perhaps he might leave him in both. He might end up getting the goal, assist, and score involvements the way he's going, which is terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, that is very true. Papadopoulos has always been, oh, here's De Silva. Just missed. He's offside anyway.
That's a bit of a story of a match there, that finish. Silva just missed timing his run there and didn't end up even getting any kind of shot on target. Bartlett was untroubled.
Yeah, and here's De Silva. I thought he had a chance there to put it across for Krustis, but was outpaced. And Paris is there to shut it down. And that is going to be the match. It'll be a 3-0 win for Paris over Kaapstad. Kaapstad just not with a very good performance on the day, as you can see from the match ratings, but also the fact they didn't get a single shot in the second half there.
Yeah, absolutely stifled. I mean, I have very little to say in that regard. You know, they just weren't able to get anything wrong. I mean, they did get crosses in at this point, so, you know, credit there. They were able to get one.
Yeah.
You know.
It is
shame on the other 17, but it is what it is. Yeah, but anytime you see reds on that match rating, it is quite worrisome. And do you think that this season, I mean, you're pretty much guaranteed to be not fighting for anything at this point, so might be worth trying to throw out a few experiments here, of course. Given that Romana and Reykjavik are still yet to play, they still can get points as well. And yeah, now 4th place sits at 18. This is going to be a very uphill fight. And, well, if you're any one of those bottom 4 teams at this point, you're basically just playing for pride now.
Yeah, I believe Red Star Reykjavik is our next match. Reykjavik is currently the league leader based on their their goal difference. Currently tied with Romana on 19, but the goal difference is about 4 higher, if I remember correctly. Red Star is in
18-2 compared to 19-6, and you can chalk that up to Scott Sterling, who has put up 6 clean sheets thus far. But the offense hasn't been there when he's ended up conceding, because they do have 1 draw, 1 loss on the campaign.
Yeah.
But his save percentage is just otherworldly. You know, talk about Boy Bartlett. He did end up making those couple of saves that would increase his save percentage a fair bit. Just trying to do the quick math in my head here. Because by the looks of things, he has. Why is this escaping me? Well, the problem is when I'm looking at this, it does show that he has apparently 45 saves and 10 conceded. Okay, so yeah, so 10 over 55. So that, yeah, it's correct. All right, yeah, so now it would be 57 saves that he's made. Sterling, on the other hand, has not been challenged as much either. Only has the 35 saves thus far, and only the 2 conceded, so yeah, I mean, it's been really Scott Sterling that's been able to do that, and it's up to Red Star Lau and someone like Yamagera, who thus far has 6 goals. It's third in the Golden Boot race, challenge fan, and well, Reykjavik, no real clear frontman for them, but they've had a great mix of players that have scored for them. Paul Penshaw, Patrick Bjorkus, Henry Andrews, Peter Oak, all with 3 goals each.
Yeah, Paul Penshaw has been, I didn't quite catch if he is currently on the field, but for the last few matches that Reykjavik has been in, Penshaw has been a halftime substitute coming on for Lachlan O'Rourke. And O'Rourke is up there at the top now, so I would presume that Penshaw will be coming on at the half for him.
Yeah, seems to be the plan that they've gone with, and that's Lau, on the other hand, do think that they might also be able to get something out of Big Daddy Greedo, who has a few appearances this year. Chance that was well wide there. I think it was a cross attempt, perhaps. And Oka drive.
I thought that was blasting for a minute. Yeah, 2 very dangerous chances there for Reykjavik, but neither of them ended up being shots. And I'm not entirely sure what that was. It looked as though Hall somehow attempted a shot from the corner position.
It's been deflected then upwards and back out there as Lou kept it in there, trying to keep this attack rolling.
Yeah, Reykjavik playing in their, at this point, typical 4-1-4-1. Red Star, on the other hand, playing a 4-2-3-1 with, I couldn't tell immediately whether it was 2 defensive mids or 2 central mids, as there's a shot from Oak that's saved by Canders. The Red Star has also gained a propensity for being the team most likely to pick up yellows, and they do have 2 players, well, only 1 player that has been red carded twice for double yellows, that being Mike Checker.
More like body checker.
Yes, indeed. Scarpetta, Tane. Scarpetta put a shot on. Tane made a cheat code looking save almost. Except he used his feet since he's not a keeper. And as I said, Red Star has a penchant for yellows, and it's their central attacking mid, Olaf Sides, who has already picked one up 5 minutes in.
Yeah, it's about what you expect here. And worth noting right now, Candace right now has been able to keep them out of, well, no, when you say you speak things into existence, it's happened to me. Roberto Scarpetta, one of the Scarpetta brothers on Reykjavik, ends up finding the net on an indirect.
Yeah, Hall, I mean, Barry just got very lost in the air. That's about all you can say to that. And of course he's onside because of Dello there. Canders just never really had an opportunity.
Yeah, you know, when you go back across the face of the net and then back again, it's very difficult to try and react to that as a goalkeeper. You know, I was going to say before, Dalton Canders also does have the lowest save percentage out of any Division 2 keeper at 69.6%.
Oof. That is lower than I anticipated. This here's Aurora. Canders makes the save that time, and it's supposed to clear.
Yeah, I would describe it as opposite of nice.
Yeah. Yeah. That is an apt description of the situation there. As Messi goes back to Canders, back to Tame. Red Star's going to try and build something. Furious Chicken on that left wing has been one of the main sources of attack for Red Star on the season. I'm not sure how many goals he has. I believe it's either 3 or 4, but I do believe he has 5 or 6 assists.
I actually don't see him that high up. He only has 1 goal and 2 assists thus far, so he's been more of a headless
Really?
chicken.
Interesting. Chicken, in the matches that I've commentated to this point, have been quite impressed with him as Canders gets a save there.
Yeah, he might have been very good in his cup ties, of course. This is solely looking at league play here.
Ah, true. Very true. And not Chicken. Red Star themselves are being quite simply outclassed at the moment. They haven't managed a shot that I have seen. We haven't really seen any highlights for them. It's all been for Reykjavik. And that trend is not completing now. Malachi, you mentioned that Sterling has only had 35 shots against. A large majority of that has been thanks to Malachi Black. As here's Bjorkus putting it in to Hall, who puts it over. Malachi Black playing on that back line for Reykjavik has been stellar so far this season. He has, I believe Malachi Black alone has single-handedly saved, I think, 3 or 4 goals that would have gone in because Sterling was out of position.
Yeah, and I feel like, even with like a top tier keeper like Sterling, who has multiple championships under his belt, something has to be said for Reykjavik's backline. It's very strong. Holy Diver, Malachi Black, Roberto Scarpetta, and Matt Letitia have been very strong in defense. And, even for Sterling's potential transgressions, there's a Rourke blocked out by Barry again.
Yeah, good run
by Barry. Even for their potential transgressions, he's been very, very strong.
We have 2 more yellows picked up on the field, it looks like. One of them is for Roberto Scarpetta, the goal scorer earlier, as Bjorkus misses that high. The other is for Mike Checker. Yeah, body checker, as I shall now be referring to him as.
Yeah, could be hip checker, could be poke checker. There's a lot of options there. Maybe not stick checker. That might be a bit excessive.
O'Rourke with an opportunity. Messi gets in the way and then also clears it himself. Back to Scarpetta. Roberto Scarpetta, the only Scarpetta brother that routinely appears in the Reykjavik lineup now, as O'Rourke heads that one over. Claudio Scarpetta has not been a regular in the Reykjavik lineup for some time. And Reykjavik's looking to make a final attack here in the closing moments of the first half. It'll be a held save by Canders.
Yeah, Patrick Bjorkus got a great interception on that throw, but it was just one last opportunity. I felt like had he decided to loft one over the top there, intending to go for Lachlan O'Rourke on a through ball, there was another opportunity available to him, but that time just couldn't get it to him. And in spite of some what seems like great work in net there, they are still down. Alton Can is still struggling with having to face 8 shots on target, though he is posting the highest save percentage in this match that he has for his season so far, so he's making inroads.
Yeah, I believe it was 18 shots on target in that first half for not 18 shots on target. That would be even more ridiculous, as we see Lopta on for Noodle and Penshaw on for O'Rourke. But 18 shots, 8 on target for Reykjavik. Canders only allowing the 1, and only a single shot that was not on target for Red Star in that first half.
Yep, and another sign that we saw from the last match, no crosses completed.
Yep. Yeah, it seems to be a reasonably clean split between the top half and the bottom half of Division 2 this season, and with the top half all playing members of the bottom half, it seems as though we'll see some... Oh, and that's Otis just missed one. Got it past Canders, went off the post. But yeah, it's to be expected that we see some dominant performances, although I always enjoy seeing an underdog performance as well.
Yeah, just for these past 2 games, as Laos especially, we just have not seen anything thus far. Now we're gone, we haven't even seen him mount another shot, but here's a chance now for Greedo.
And Sterling makes a save. Greedo never really had a chance there with the angle that Malachi Black took to cut that off. dealing with a slight injury up there on the side. He's going to cross over to Lopta, who's in for Noodle. Lopta back to Bjorkus, and Messi got in the way of the shot, and the next chance out of the side netting.
Yeah. Oh, this is bad positioning here.
Yeah, that Pencho had an opportunity and just missed.
Yeah, just no one really sticking to him, and that really could have been absolute disaster, but he opted to take the early shot and ended up sailing that one wide. And yeah, Henry Andrews did have an opportunity off of a rebound, but didn't have much of an angle. Tried to cannon it home, but just put it into the side of the net.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Reykjavik is, I think, a little bit unlucky to not have 2 or 3 goals at this point, but they do still have that lead, so I'm sure they will take it. And Greedo shoots, Sterling saves. Greedo is offside.
Yeah, I just saw the whistle there, and just to see how happy he was about not having to deal with another parry there.
Yeah. And Reykjavik is still working the box, trying to get in, make something happen. Cross put in by Andrews, headed over by Bjorkus. Scarpetta intercepts a pass for Greedo. Oak to Letitia to Andrews. Back to Oak into Penshaw. Shoots, and that's a goal for Paul Penshaw. Just really well played.
Yeah, and that's what happened. They tried to play out from the back there. Dalton Candace tried to play one short there, and then it was just intercepted, and then the attack just got to flow up freely there. You can just see how many more numbers Reykjavik have up front there, and Oak is just an inside ball there. Right in between the two centre-backs there is Paul Penshaw, again unmarked. You just saw the fist pumps give them a 2-goal lead. Twice as good as a 1-goal lead, and probably one that, if the form continues, they can easily hold on to.
Yeah, I don't think... Well, Red Star has been showing some signs of attack, as I think Greedo's offside here. He shoots anyways. And yeah, he's offside.
Yep. We'll pick out of that one, Laser.
Yeah, and I don't think Red Star's going to be able to crawl back into this one with only 8 minutes. Only a few shots. I'm a bit surprised Messi didn't get a foul there.
Yeah, I feel like everyone kind of stopped up, but Bjorkus played for the whistle, put a shot on there, and then he was able to capitalize on the crucial error.
Yeah, it's
everyone kind of expected a foul in truth.
Yeah, I didn't have time to check if the referee played advantage, but it didn't seem as though he did. Although I also didn't really see him. Bjorkus back to Hall, over to Letitia. He's got Andrews running. Andrews grabs. Andrews chips the keeper, and that's a third. And now it's the dagger for certain if it wasn't already.
Well, now they can talk about multiple guys with 4 goals on their ledger. Just another little simple play through that little gap there. Messi just got caught a little bit out there, as did Barry in time. Henry Andrews easily able to chip there, his 4th of the season. Again, going to be a co-leader for Reykjavik in terms of goals scored, but I mean, the distribution has been exceptional. And got to think that Reykjavik will be able to hold on to this one. They might even try and press more to try and get a 4th here. Any more goals that they can obtain here in this match would be huge for them. They are right next to AC Romana in the standings.
Yeah. Yeah, and if it comes down to it, it very well could end up being Paris as well. Montreal right in that mix, all of them sitting in a very similar position in terms of goals scored, goals against, goal differential, although Montreal is a bit further behind than the rest of the group.
Yeah, but I mean, it's very difficult to measure them on the goal score because it seemed like Scott Sterling would have to become an absolute sieve net if anything came to that. You know, he's looking at his 7th clean sheet.
Yeah, and has only allowed 1 in each of those that he has not kept a clean sheet for. I believe you said he was at 18-2 heading into the match. That's a goal for Furious Chicken. And it's not going to be a clean sheet for Sterling as Chicken gets one into the back of the net. I didn't quite catch what sides for it to chicken. Sterling just didn't read it.
Yeah, well, again, he just tried to cut off the near post, but went far side, and there's Furious Chicken there, finally getting one back for Lau, and, well, you know, now at least he can be a nice 6 of 9 in clean sheet conversions.
Yeah. Yeah, and Sterling has shown to be human here in the later parts of the season, but when you have an offense that scores 3 and has 30 shots with 11 on target, you could afford to give up a couple here and there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the end game in when it comes down to it, just score more goals than your opponent at the time. And yeah, they did seem to just run away with it, and was pretty much a comprehensive victory. I mean, it's interesting to see the worst player on field technically was Malachi Black according to the ratings, but no real stinkers thrown up here by Lau. I mean, decent play from all sides as well. I have to say that it was just really a golf in class between the two, and Reykjavik, I do feel, got themselves a crucial win. You know, they basically kept pace with what they had. Now, even if you are conceding another, that would mean that your ratio of goals scored to goals conceded does fall from 9 to 7. A 7 ratio there is still fine.
Yeah, 7 is stellar.
Exceptional, even. And
Who
other
was-
superlatives of that nature.
Yeah. Who would be next closest in that?
Are we talking league-wide, or are we talking
Just in Division 2.
just in Division 2? It'd be
It'd have to be-
Romana. I think they sit right now at a 3.16.
Interesting. I would have said Paris.
Yeah, no, Paris have too many goals conceded for that right now. They would be, I believe, following the result of their match at 2 point odd. I forget how many they scored now. Should have notated it.
I think they got 3.
2.3.
That's still very solid as we do move on to Romana. Playing in their patented 4-2-3-1. In Cairo with the same formation they've been using all season.
About 5-3-2 with JCGD up the front, has been their main scorer, and really has not had any other support in this regard. He has 5 of their 6 goals thus far this season.
Yeah. Yeah, and what is the goal difference for Cairo? Is it in the 20s or is it in the high teens still?
High teens, minus 19.
19, okay. I wasn't sure if they'd gotten there yet or not. Cairo has struggled to score, of course we see that with only 6 goals, 5 of them from one person. But that is kind of the nature of their formation, and they have picked it up recently. They've looked much better on the offensive than they did at the beginning of the season here in the last few weeks, as he's a through ball to Levert, who shoots off of Normus for a corner. Jeremiah to Schweinsteiger, back to Tyson Nunez. Schweinsteiger to Nunez to Jeremiah, back to Nunez. Nunez just having all the fun, and he'll bounce across off of McGlaskins for a Romana corner. It's an in and out. King takes it back to the middle of the field. Jeremiah puts it forward to Schweinsteiger. They play a 1-2, get Kimoatu involved. And then Smart is way out on the wing despite being a central defender, and that was a poor through ball. Third corner, and we are 4 minutes in for Romana. And Schweinsteiger just missed there.
Yeah, they're finding a lot of opportunities here early on. All of this play has pretty much been in Cairo territory, but thus far, nothing has been able to break through the wall.
Yeah, Romana's previous match against Cairo, they took home a 3-0 victory. And I know that Romana thinks as here's Levert with an opportunity, and Hill makes the save. And Levert's offside. Cody Hill was Romana's goalkeeper last season, so he is familiar with how the team operates. Perhaps give him a little bit of an advantage here. And a fourth corner, perhaps fifth. Lost count.
Breaking. Laser can't count to 5. More at 6.
Followed by Sports at 7.
Wait, he can. Oh no. Schweinsteiger whipped one in. Oh, again, it's just been so much pressure being piled on here. Cairo need to find a counter and fast to try and relieve him of something here. I feel like even if they do end up scoring here, Cairo, on some counterplay, Romana is just giving more up. As there's Levert. He ends up finally finding the net there, and it took 20 minutes and 42 seconds, but eventually they finally break the dam.
Yeah, and that was just a very good through ball. Nunez up to Schweinsteiger. Levert ran onto it, timed it well, sent Hill sprawling the wrong way, and put it away for his, I believe, 6th of the season. Might be 7th. It is his 7th. King forward to Untitled. Gets to the line and Dormus boots it out for a corner. Up the line, attempted was Kimuatu for that. I don't know if Untitled is onside. He is in the corner. Again.
Once more, with feeling.
At this rate, if Romana keeps up getting corners at this rate, they're going to score one more off of corners just by sheer volume. Nunez with a good interception there. Up the near wing, over to King, over to Kimuatu, back in to somebody. King ends up with it, and Levert's got another. That's 2 on the match, and it's 5 minutes apart. That was, I'm not quite sure what happened there.
Yeah, it was kind of just a aerial bit of ping pong here as Milton Nunez here down the left flank, in for King, and then Kimuatu. He flicks one in. Up there, believe that might have been headed by Miss Glaskins, and then King sent it back in through, and because of the ball placement, put Levert onside, and he was able to convert for his double.
Yeah, and King did not get an assist there, so that means it bounced off of either the post or Hill himself prior to Levert putting that one in. Kimuatu to Untitled, intended for Levert, but Levert couldn't quite get there. Now King up to Milton on the near flank, not the far flank. And with his head, and that's another goal for Romana, and that's 3 in the space of 13 minutes. It's Miro Schweinsteiger.
Yeah, this is just another exceptional cross play here on that left edge. Really enormous caught out, not marking Milton Nunez. Played back in for King, and then Schweinsteiger beats Dominic Vilk to the head of it. And Cody Hill just not able to cover that far post in time. And, well, this is starting to mention the dam breaking. Yeah, the flood of goals has commenced.
Yeah, it's so often we see with these teams that are lower down in the table, they're just trying to limit the damage that they give up. And then once they give up one, it's pretty frequent that we see a lot more in a very short period of time. It seems Levert with another opportunity, but Hill gets a save that time. And it'll be the umpteenth corner for Romana. And that's over off of the head of, I believe, Levert. Tyson Nunez up the far wing. Puts it across. It's King. He puts it over. And Cairo is, as we were saying going into the match, they have not had a single shot. They are struggling, is the best way to put it.
Yeah, it has been tough to watch if you're a Cairo fan. given they did have that tear down, of course, it is somewhat to be expected, but this doesn't seem like it's going to improve anytime soon as we have yet another corner.
Yeah, that one's just over as well. Romana's getting closer now. And that is a half. And 17 shots, 8 on target. Possession is 50-50, but the 12 corners for Romana, and 0% crosses for Cairo. That's the third time today.
Yeah, might have to go back and check if it was for a fourth time because, I mean, that's been the story of these matches. And yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the pyramids do not have any stashes of copium. Because yet cope just sows nothing.
Yeah, it's here's a substitution. It's got Zoidberg on for Jeremiah for Romana's side.
I have double checked here. Accra were 3 of 18, so that was the only sign that we haven't seen crosses not being completed. I mean, Accra did see they were threatening, but weren't able to convert on their chances. But still, I mean, I think it's safe to say, honestly, for this one, that it's Cairo.
Yeah, Cairo have struggled to score. Like we've said multiple times, his out-of-the-air shot is offside. I thought that looked a little suspicious. But Cairo, once they give up one, it's difficult at best for them to get back into it. So giving up 3 in the first half is kind of... I usually hesitate to say that a team's fate is sealed prior to the end of the first 15 minutes of the second half, but in a situation like this, I think that it's just about over. As there's Tyson King, who just missed outside, could have made it 4.
Yeah, just had a one-time and a bit too heavy on that occasion. Really had a good threat, though. Probably was the most highest quality chance that they've honestly had.
And that is a shot on target for Cairo. Jean-Claude put it in, but Kerrigan able to make the save.
Yeah, Reagan just did. He tried to left foot that one.
I'm not sure, but I think that we may have lost Sock.
Yeah.
In the middle of his sentence.
This is a microphone issue.
Ah, there we go. There's King. That would have been quite a strike if it had been on target.
Yes, unfortunately, sound difficulties plague me continuously. I believe I was discussing the Kerrigan knocking himself into the post there.
Yeah, that I suppose if he had gotten injured there, that is why we do have backup goalkeepers.
Yeah, I mean, they only keep every one or two teams to really backup keeper.
Yeah. And Romana are just knocking at the door, trying to open up the scoring again.
Yeah, I do feel at this point, though, they may just try for damage limitation.
Yeah. I mean, Romana has missed a couple of very close shots in the second half, as that entire left side of Cairo has match ratings below 6 currently. Out of the air with a run over to Nunez of the Milton variety. Back to Kimoatu to Milton again. That's a cross. Schweinsteiger. And that is not a goal.
Yeah, it was held out there. Cody Hill, I think, just held it against the front of a post, knowing that the ball can't fully cross the line. But, any part of it crossing the line is fine. So, just so long as it's touching that woodwork, you're usually going to be okay.
Yeah, that, oh, here's Levert. But he's got a lot of players with him. And that 3-ball from Kimoatu was intercepted by Stojakovic.
Yeah, reminds me of Ben Hunt a bit there.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, dear. Take away.
Hill with a very bad mistake, and Anavier just missed the header. Romana is attacking all day long. They just can't convert here in the second half. Down to a 5.5 from Reagan.
I was trying to think of something clever there with that takeaway, but I had nothing, as there's another one that wasn't able to be directed on target.
Yeah, 32
Uh,
shots, 13 on target.
yeah,
for
make that
Romana.
takeaway with extra fries and no mustard.
Yeah. As another corner for Romana is close but no cigar. 18 on the day, and this is almost over now. Only a few moments left. Tyson Nunez grabs that out of the air, puts a cross back in for King, back to Milton Nunez, Pinuatu over to Tyson Nunez, back to Zoidberg.
Probably just stalling for time at this point. No need for anything more, but
Yeah, if anything,
keep looking.
I would presume that they are looking to get Levert his hat trick, if anything, as Schweinsteiger's header is just wide. And that is the match. It is a thumping, I believe, is the best way to put it for Cairo.
Yeah, I do have to say, very impressed with Milton Nunez's performance. 8.2 in spite of microphone again. Yeah, 8.2 match rating for Milton Nunez in spite of no scoring involvements. But, I mean, Cody Hill tried his hardest, but was very much let down by the rest of his side.
Yeah, and he also had a fair bit of luck from those Romana's attempts that were just off of the goal. And yeah, Regan up there just did not have a very good day.
Yeah, in spite of having the only shot on target. Only shot, in truth.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is a deserved victory. It means we will not see any movement whatsoever in the standings for the top half of the table. We might see some for the bottom half. I don't think so, however.
No, I don't. I feel like the goal differences were too far apart for that to really be any movement. Yeah, Red Star Lao were -2. Well, 2 goals separated from Kaapstad, but did have the goal scored tiebreaker.
Yeah, and I don't think that
losses for them and yeah, for them and Kaapstad. Sorry, just again making sure that my sound levels are right.
Yeah, totally understandable, as here we do get a look at that table. And it is exactly the same as it was going into the match. And in fact, Kaapstad loses a point of goal differential from Kaapstad, as Cairo will drop into the negative 20s.
3-0, right, not 2-0. My mistake.
Ah. Yeah, and it's the story of the keepers for those top 3 teams in the table. You've got Kerrigan, Sterling, and Barflett each have 5 or more clean sheets. That has been highly effective for them thus far in making sure that they are on top of the table.
And only one of them, in this case, is going to have the opportunity to compete in Division 2 again if they remain on those teams. So something we'll have to wait and see on, because that promotion race is still very tight. If Paris can get any kind of win over one of those teams that currently sits in the top 2, they suddenly put themselves in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and with it may have already been confirmed. I don't think it quite was, but with today's results, it is now impossible for anybody in that bottom half of the table to be promoted. So it is now truly down to those final top 4 teams. I think technically it was possible mathematically for those teams on 7 points heading into today, but just very unlikely, and now it is official.
Yeah, well, it's definitely mathematically over for Cairo now.
Yeah.
They could have they could have still been able to do it if they were able to win, but I mean, it's officially Cairo over now, and it's pretty much on the brink there. I mean, none of them can be champions, we know that for certain, but maybe with some insane results and they can end up going up top.
Not with the way things currently stand, with both Romana and Reykjavik on 22, and that's a 15-point difference. Only, 5 points left, or 5 matches left. I suppose it's possible.
Yeah, but again, you're basically just relying on everything going right, and given that Paddy would also have to Well, Putty
Yeah,
and Montreal would also have to drop points in many forms, and this will be an incredibly tough battle. But stranger things have happened.
yeah, very much true. Well, I believe that is it for us for today. Unless there's anything else you'd like to add, Sock.
I have nothing more. Thank you, Laser. It has been a very fun time to be back of a booth and see all this great soccer being played.
Yes, indeed. And with that, you see the matches so far. Well, you see the matches that were played today up on the screen in front of you. We thank you for joining us today, and we will see you next time.
Good night.